The men and women of Udenta decided to separate and live differently. The village that once thrived as one had split into two separate worlds. On the eastern side lived the men, on the western side lived the women. A wide path ran between them like a scar on the earth. It had not always been this way. There was a time when families lived together under the same roof, but those days were gone. The men used to come home angry and take out their frustrations on their wives with heavy fists. The women fought back the only way they knew how. Some mixed bitter herbs into their husbands' food. Others used roots that made men sick for days. The women who could not do this suffered in silence until their bodies could take no more. The men gathered in the square and complained that their wives did nothing all day. They said women were lazy and only good for causing trouble. The women told different stories. They spoke of working from dawn until their hands bled, while their husbands treated them like animals. They were tired of being possessions instead of people. Every day the king sat on his stool and listened to another case. A woman with a swollen eye, a man clutching his stomach in pain, a child caught between two angry parents. The king grew weary. His hair turned white from the stress of keeping peace. One morning he made a decision that would change Udenta forever. The village would split. Men on one side, women on the other. Each group would handle their own affairs. Any man who crossed into the women's territory would die. Any woman who entered the men's side would face the same fate. The law was absolute. The separation began immediately. Mothers watched their sons being led away. Fathers said goodbye to their daughters. Families that had shared meals and stories were now strangers living in different worlds. Only one exception existed. Once every full moon, there was a mating day. On this day, the law relaxed. Married couples could reunite briefly. Single men and women who wanted children could meet. But when the sun rose the next morning, everyone returned to their own side. Life continued in this strange new way. The men learned to cook their own meals and mend their own clothes. The women built their own houses and hunted their own food. The first few months felt like relief. No more screaming in the night, no more bodies carried out at dawn. But as the seasons changed, something else began to happen in Udenta. Something neither the king nor his law had prepared for.